are you?
Good evening, Michelle. Yes, it's been well, I'm coming through South London now. We've been a long journey on this Labour Party battle bus today. We've been started the day in Manchester, near Salford, and we've driven down to the south coast of Portsmouth, and where we've been with Sir Keir Starmer, who met with a war veteran there, and we just asked questions about the fallout from last night's election TV debates. The big battle here has been about a big number, rather like in the 2016 general election, when the number was about this £350 million money going to the NHS. This time it's about a figure of £2,000, which the Tories say Labour would impose on Britons if they win power in less than a month's time. That's been challenged by Labour saying it's a lie. We heard from Sir Keir Starmer saying the figure was a lie. The Tories have hit back. They've gone through the number for us. They say that there's, of the 28 different lines of numbers in that, 21 are official Treasury figures. They are 100% certain about that figure. What's irritating, Michelle, for Labour is we're discussing a Tory number about their policy, the impact on taxation, more taxation required if Labour win power. And that's deeply irritating, I think, for Sir Keir Starmer and his team. I also asked him, by the way, for GBNews, a question I thought was quite interesting. He said on the debates last night up in Salford on ITV that he wouldn't pay for any private health care for any family member who was seriously ill waiting for to be treated on the NHS. He said he wouldn't do that, and I think that's quite interesting. And I asked him again today, and he said, look, he comes from a family where his mother was treated extensively on the NHS, and he wouldn't use it even if a family member was in pain. He wouldn't use it. It shows a degree of principle in him. I wonder how many of our viewers would think the same if you could be paid as much as he's paid.
Shows a load of nonsense if you ask me, and I'll ask my panel about that in a second. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Well, yeah, well, you might say it's nonsense. I mean, he believes it, but it's a good debate to have. If you are paid £120,000 a year from the state, and even then you wouldn't use some of that money to pay for a sick child or a sick relation to get well more quickly, that shows a degree of principle. He said that as Director of Public Prosecutions, Michelle, he never paid for private health care. So that's that battle with the Tories and Labour. Elsewhere, you know about Vaughan Gethin. That's a big deal in Wales. Just moments ago, he lost a no confidence vote in the Welsh Senate. Elsewhere, Ed Davey's been fined for speeding. And quite interesting, on the Reform UK front, the Reform UK party is now just 2 points behind the Tory party. Labour on 40, Reform UK on 19 points, Tories on 21, and that to me is fascinating. I'll read those again, forgive me. Tories on 19 points, Reform on 17 points. And that, to me, is interesting. It shows this bounce that Nigel Farage looks like it's given that party. And are we about to reach the point called crossover when Reform UK become, in polling terms, the challenger party to Labour? If that happens, maybe next week it could happen with the direction of travel in the polls. That will be enormous.
Interesting stuff. I was desperate the whole time you was talking. I was listening, obviously, but I was also hoping for you to stop at a red light, because we all talk about these battle buses. You're on this bus, but I think many viewers will be fascinated. They've never been on a battle bus. What is it like? I wanted the cameraman to be able to. I don't know if it's very professional or the dumb thing, but I wanted you to stop so I could get him to just pan around. I mean, look at that. Let me have a good nosy what's going on there. So when we say battle bus, so that's like basically a normal. It looks like a national holidays coach trip.